I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to my apostle elders, a great millstone to rule well. Peace and salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Tazma Deborah coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And through the spirit, a lot of things has been escalating within the last few hours, probably the last 10, 12 hours. And we're getting breaking news as far as what you see on the screen, and also what Trump did concerning Iran with the strikes, the 3 strikes, and also Iran preparing to wage war with America, man. So we're clearly in a time of things and the tensions across the world. It's going to continue to escalate, which is going to lead to World War III. But before World War III pop off, you best believe that you're going to have civil unrest. You're going to have major events taking place in Babylon the Great in various parts of the earth, which is going to lead to the MOTB being rolled out, man. Because you got to understand, that's the main plan. Order out of chaos. Just like we said, if a revelation of the method, Esau Edom puts out movies like Leave the World Behind, Civil War. He puts it out there to let you know things he's going to do before he does it, man. And as Shakespeare said, the world is a stage. But ultimately, the world is a stage because this is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This is his book, the Bible, which has been written before time to warn us of the current events that's going to take place before his beloved son, Yahweh Shai, return. And we're clearly in the times where the Bible's speaking loud and clear, man. Loud and clear. The destruction, what you're seeing about to take place, was already written aforetime. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick before I play these various videos and grab precepts. This is Isaiah chapter 46, verse 10. And it says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done. See, what you're seeing taking place here on earth was already declared from the beginning. Now it's being manifested, it's been brought to the light here on earth, and we have to live it out and play it out. This is what you're seeing taking place. Civil war is going to escalate, famine of food, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places. All these various things is already written from the beginning and already telling us the times before Yahweh shall return, but it was already written from the beginning, and then now it's playing out. It says, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times of things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So this is the counsel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And this is his will and his pleasure. And now it's been manifest and played out here on earth, man. So we're seeing the end of Esau Edom society being planned out, man. We're seeing Jacob pulling Esau Edom out of power. When you get in 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, the 9th verse, he's been pulled out of power. So with him being pulled out of power, all these various prophecies of his fall, of the collapse of this system, has been taking place, man. But you're seeing this war being brewed up with Iran and Israel and America. It's getting brewed up even with Russia, because all the nations are going to weigh in on it, man, which is going to lead to World War III. But before World War III takes place, you're going to see the rise of the MOTB, man. And I wanted to play this clip that you're seeing first, because that's going to lead to the anarchy and the chaos when they really activate sleeper cells throughout America. But that strike is going to activate the tensions in the Middle East more and more, man. So I want to play this, and before I play it, this is a copyright disclaimer of Section 107 of the Act of 1976. Fair use, fair use, fair use. I'm not using this for any monetary gain. I'm using this for educational purposes only under the Section 107 of the Act of 1976. Copyright disclaimer, fair use, fair use. So I'm going to play this video and grab a few more clips of this guy's page, this brother's page. But at the same time, I'm just showing you how things is going to start to escalate. All right, so it looks like we're going to war. Last night, Al-Qaeda. And look at the dates. That was June 20th. Today is June 22. Because we understand that June 21, yesterday, the strikes took place. So this thing was already preparing to act out. Sent out a message basically stating that he is activating all of the sleeper cells. All right. The leader of Al-Qaeda said for every abled Muslim to prepare, Now, from what the CIA has stated, how this is going to play out more than likely is you're going to have activity popping off in different cities, LA, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Dallas, like just all across the nation. You're going to have things just popping off, and there's going to be so much commotion that they're not going to be able to keep up with everything. Last year, there was a guy that crossed the border. When they stopped him, he said, you don't know who I am yet, but soon you will know. Now, the internet did its research. He was one of the main leaders from Al-Qaeda. So these are the type of people that we have here right now. Now, there's over 1,000 sleeper cells across the U.S. and things are looking pretty ugly. All right. So it looks like we're going to war. What movie is this reminding you of when things like that take place? Leave the World Behind. Because when Leave the World Behind was happening, you had a cyber event take place, and then they didn't know who it was from. When you get into the movie, they didn't know it was from Iran or Russia. So what was, you seen the little signs saying DTA for America, and his son had to tell him that was on a game. That's how he knew what it meant. And then you had other signs. The other guy said, well, they're getting the same red signs in Russian that's falling out of the sky. So this is actually being played out right in your face, because you best believe they're going to do a major event here in America. They're going to activate Sleepercells. It's going to hit the grid and things like that and really shut this shit down. And they don't, and the American people are going to be in a state of confusion, not knowing who's it coming from. But it's going to be from your own government. But at the same time, it's still from Yahweh Shemal Shah. That's going to usher in the time of Jacob's trouble. That's ushering the chaos, the anarchy, the civil war, the plagues, the famine, the pestilence, and at the same time, the MOTB system, which is going to lead to World War III and Armageddon and the destruction. And this is the news everybody got a few hours back. And this is U.S. strikes Iran. American bombers carried out an airstrike on 3 nuclear sites in Iran overnight, man. So Trump was bragging how there was success that they strike the Iran nuclear sites, man. But not knowing, and right after he done that, they said he shut down his page and things like that. Why? Because they're seeing that this was taking place.
90% of Iran. We have breaking news. Trump has launched an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. I guess he hit 3 sites.
A lot of American people don't know that the Russians, and also you best believe some Chinese soldiers was there. So what you think is going to take place? They're going to retaliate.
We have breaking news. Trump has launched an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities. I guess he hit 3 sites, and they are not sure if they were successful or not. Trump is saying that they were, but they're waiting for Iran or someone to go to the sites to see if they're just buried or if it's still intact. But Trump seemed to just wanted to get it out of the way. He went in, did the attacks, sent the bombers right back home. I think they're still in the region to see what Iran's going to do next. They said if this happened, they were going to have terrorist attacks in the United States, that they were going to have their proxies go ham in the Middle East, attacking our bases and attacking our allies that are hosting our bases. And
the Trump and his administration knew that, and they still carried out the attack. So they don't give a damn about you American people, man. They don't give a damn about their military. They're for the small hats. They're doing this bidding for the small hats, because this is part of the Albert Pike plan, not knowing it's still the plan of Yahweh by Shemal Shah. They're doing the will of the Lord. But the Albert Pike plan is the greatest state of Israel. And what did he say? He said it would be tensions from the small hats and Christians and the Muslim world that will lead to World War III, not knowing that's still Bible prophecy.
Russia and China has warned the United States to not hit the nuclear facility because, first of all, there's 200 Russian workers there, so Russia could very well step into this. China also does very heavy business with Iran. They're reliant on Iranian oil and gas. At least it kind of keeps them afloat. 90% of Irans go there, so yeah, big problems, man. So breaking news: Trump just launched an attack on Iran, and it looks like it's about to be going ham. I warned y'all of World War III for the last 5 years, and now you're seeing it. I got to go right back on live. Got more news coming next.
Yeah, but it's not going to really play out till you have the order out of chaos, which that's the video I brought first, when they're really going to start, activating sleeper cells. But this is something the American people don't know.
This just in, Iran is now saying that it evacuated all their nuclear sites and removed all their nuclear stockpiles to other locations prior to Donald Trump's strikes on the facilities. Here's the report right here. It says Iran State TV reported that the country had evacuated personnel from the 3 nuclear sites in advance. According to the broadcaster's political deputy, Iran had relocated its nuclear stockpiles from those sites to secure locations. Not only that, but we are now hearing that Iran State TV is warning that every American citizen or military in the region is now a target. Who knows if what Iran is saying is true or not, but it is very difficult to trust what's coming out of the Trump regime. Trump is clearly hoping for this to be the end of this saga, but in many ways it's already starting to feel like the beginning. As the New York Times is making abundantly clear, the United States has entered the war against Iran. And so it's official. After saying no new wars, no new wars, no new wars, Donald Trump has once again dragged the United States back into a war in the Middle East. We're going to keep following what's going on in this fast-moving story. We are also currently live on YouTube, so check.
So what are you seeing? You're seeing how the Lord is ushering in this war. This is Joel chapter 3. Matter of fact, let's get to Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 13. And I start at verse 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see in Babylon, the Babylon the Great, is America, man. Spiritually, Babylon is America. And it says, lift up your banner upon the high mountain. The banner is what the Bible. The high mountain represents this government. And it says, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand that you may go into the gates of the nobles. And that's what the Lord have set up with the prophets, going on the highways and hedges and condemning this society and letting them know the judgment that the Lord has for this place, man. Shaking the hand, letting them know what is about to take place. And we've been warning you, starting our apostles, starting our Elder Abba Bivens, starting with all the beloved apostles and elders and all the Akim for years, 40, 30 plus years, telling you what's coming, man. The prophets are back, warning you of what's about to take place here in the society, man. And it says, shake the hand, go into the gates of the nobles. The gates of the nobles are who are your so-called leaders of society. Let them know that their kingdom is about to go down. Let them know the judgment that's about to take place for what have you done to the children of Israel, man. Because this is all for Yasharallah. This is all what you're seeing taking place is for what Esau, Edom, and the nations have done to the Lord's people, man. And that's what they don't consider. They didn't consider what they done to the treasure of the Lord, man. The apple of the Lord's eye, which is his people, the Nicolaites and Native Americans, the 12 tribes, man. But also the judgment that 2/3 is going to take part in for believing and trusting in his system, man, and not letting this shit go. Raji in the park, because it's not your rest. So 2/3 is going to pay for putting their trust in the system as well, right along with this devil. It says, I commanded my sanctified ones. The sanctified ones are the prophets, the ones that had the Holy Spirit, the ones that's commanded to go out here and teach and warn you what the Lord is about to do. He said, I also called my mighty ones for my anger, the angels. He said, even them that rejoice in my highness, the noise of a multitude and great mountains. The noise of a multitude and great mountains represents what the kingdoms, they're getting prepared. These different empires, Russia, China, America, Iran, all these other nations, the EU, the NATO nations. They're preparing. What is for preparing for? It says, as like a great people, a tumultuous noise, a kingdoms of nations gathered together. See, this is what they're doing. The nations are going to gather together in the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, which is over in the Middle East, man. And gather together for what? For World War III. That's when the Lord is going to return. When World War III breaks out, then that's when you're going to receive the return of the Lord. When you read 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, that's when Yahweh Shai is going to crack them clouds and fuck them nations up, man. And it says, the Lord of hosts mustered the host of the battle. So the Lord is doing this. The Lord is orchestrating all these things you're seeing taking place, man. Real quick, let's get this. This is Proverbs showing you how the Lord is behind what's taking place. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. This is what's taking place. The king's heart, Donald Trump, the Iranian president, the so-called prime minister of Israel, the NATO nations, leaders, the Most High is controlling all of them to do what they're doing right now. This is the Most High will. This is his script. The script is the Bible, the scriptures, man. This is the will of the Lord. The Lord is putting a spirit on these nations to usher in World War III. And it says, as the rivers of water, he turn it wherever so he willeth. So the Lord is turning their heart wherever so he willeth. He got them against each other. So why? So they can usher in this World War III. But before the World War III, usher in the MOTB, man. So we're seeing the Most High doing his thing, man. All we're doing is sit back and watching, man, which is beautiful, man. Let's jump back. And it says, they come from a far country, from end of the heaven, even the Lord of his weapons are in the nation to destroy the whole land. And why? Because the Lord's going to put the spirit on the Russia, Iran, and China and all the other nations, even the EU and the NATO nations, to shoot missiles on Babylon the Great, to shoot the weapons of indignation, which is the missiles on America, man. That's what it's talking about. It says, "How ye, O Lord," and it said, "How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand." So you can clearly see that the Lord visitation is drawing nigh. It's very, very close, man. The Lord is returning very, very soon. If you got the spirit of discernment to see how the Lord is moving on earth, the wars and rumors of wars, the division, the civil unrest, the famine, the pestilence, all these various things is return of the Lord, man. We're in the time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob represents the nation of Israel. You Negro, Latino, Native American, Hispanics, you're in trouble. The Lord is letting you know with all the signs in your face that he's about to return. And if you don't have your shit together, you will die here in Babylon the Great and various parts around the world that the Lord is going to destroy, man. That's what's happening. The Lord he give you the signs of Matthew the 24th chapter, telling you when he's going to return. The signs is clear as day, man. It's clear as day that the Lord is on his way. It said it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. This is from the Almighty, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. What's taking place is from the Lord, man. He's setting everything in order, man. This Joel 3. Let's jump on down. Joel 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye among the Gentiles. The Gentiles is the heathen nations that you're seeing gathering for war. It says, prepare war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw nigh. Let them come up. And don't you see that taking place right now? All these proxy wars that's been going on for years is leading to real war. The proxy wars that's been going on in the Middle East now is coming home to lead to the major war, which is World War III, man. That is taking place right in front of you. As the scriptures say, man, Israel our people were like, oh, World War III not going to happen in my lifetime. The mark of the beast is not going to happen in my lifetime. Ezekiel the 12th chapter is in your face, Jake, where you can't make that proverb cease anymore. It's going to happen in your lifetime. And it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. All these other nations, for the last few years, they haven't been worrying about their agriculture. They've been beating they've been putting their money into their nukes, to their military. Why? Because they're seeing what's going on. So that's into their cyber warfare. All these various things is tactics of a war, man. They've been putting that money into war, not to their agriculture, not to their energy deals to build up their societies. They've been putting their money, investing their money into nuclear stockpiles, different arsenals and different war tactics. That's what they've been putting their money into. And it says, let the weak say I'm strong. All the weak nations that didn't have nuclear capability, look at them now. Look at Pakistan. Look at North Korea. Look at all them various nations. Look at Iranian. Look at all these nations, man. They have nuclear capability, man. They only need one missile, and that'll hit America, and it will decimate this place, man. And it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. It says, to gather yourselves together around about hither, cause thy mighty ones to come down. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I set to judge all the heathen round about. This is the Lord's judgment. The Lord is setting the key players intact, where he's going to round up all the nations to judge them, man. To judge them. This is what the Lord's doing. And he putting the spirit on Trump to attack Iran, to lead America into this World War III, man. That's what you're seeing taking place. And yes, it will be a draft. Yes, it will be a draft, because that's biblical. That's what's going to take place. All these people mocking and scoffing, I ain't going to this draft. Yeah, you is. Because the Lord's going to put the spirit on this devil to usher in this draft very, very soon, man. Very, very soon. We've been warning you, man. We've been telling you, Jakes, man, that we're in those times. But everybody didn't want to consider. They wanted to go on and think everything was good. Nah, this shit is over with. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, In verse 8, it says, "Therefore wait upon me, said the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." What is the fire of the Most High's jealousy? The ICBM missiles, man. That's the weapons of his indignations. That's the weapons. The Most High put the spirit on Oppenheimer to make the missiles. That's why Oppenheimer was afraid when he was making the missiles, because he knew if the missiles really got to their perfection, that the whole world may be in trouble, man. That's what this is the Most High's movie, man. And what you're seeing taking place is the judgment of the Lord. But before nuclear war really takes place, you're going to see proxy wars take place in the shores of America, man. Very, very soon, man. Real quick. It's on the top of my head. This is matter of fact, that's not the one I wanted. Give me a second. I just grabbed this one real quick. This Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1. Yeah, this is the one I wanted. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." The virgin daughter of Babylon is America, man. Sitting in the dust. The dust represents confusion. Because a lot of people right now, they're in a state of confusion because they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. They can't believe their government. It says, "Sit on the ground. There is no throne," because America's being dethroned right before you. America's not that big bad bully no more. America's not that big bad bully no more. It says, "O daughter of the Chaldeans." The Chaldeans are your witches and warlocks, which is your so-called presidents and your Freemasons, the ones in office right now that's working witchcraft, man. Trump is a fifth degree high Satan worship witch. It says, "For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate," because you're seeing America's not going to be called tender and delicate anymore. Why? Because you're going to have foreign soldiers on your land very, very soon. Foreign soldiers. If you haven't seen the movie Red Dawn in the 80s or the early 90s, watch it. What happened? You seen soldiers from Russia falling out the sky. If you ain't seen the one in the early 2000s, watch it. You had Chinese soldiers falling from the sky, invading America. That's coming, man. They don't put these in these movies for no reason, man. It's called predictive programming. It's called revelation of the method. Esau Edom thinks he's the Most High, so he has to tell you things before he does it, just as the Lord does it. But Esau Edom does it on the left-hand side. It says, "Take the millstone, gird the mill, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover thy thigh, pass over the rivers." So, hey, as we've been exposing this devil for many, many years, man, he can't hide himself anymore. This is why he's coming down with great wrath. Revelation 12:12, because he can't hide what's going on anymore. He was hiding himself with secrecy for so long with the Illuminati, and Illuminati was built off secrecy, man. The Brotherhood, the Skull and Bones, and all these different clubs that they have, but they can't hide themselves anymore. The Most High got the spirit on them in the Lord to expose you on all angles. Even that third witness is these so-called truthers. These people that was part of your club to come out and tell your plans, man. That's still the will of the Lord. Psalm 64:8, man. They make their own tongues fall upon themselves, man. So he's been exposed on all levels. This is why you're seeing the fall of this empire being manifest right before you. You're seeing all the prophecies taking place, man. Because we're at the end of this man's system, man. Let's grab one more and I end it out. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 38. And verse Ezekiel chapter 38, and I started verse 2. I started verse 1. It said, "And the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against it." And that represents Russia. That represents Russia, even though this talking about the ancient land of the Shemitic nations. Not Shemitic, Shalaki, the Japhetic nations, because that land was inhabited by Japhet. Now who's inhabiting that land concerning Bible prophecies? The Russians. And it says, "And say, thus say the Lord, power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, and chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, showing the Lord still ain't with Russia, but he's going to put the spirit on Russia. He's telling you, he's putting the spirit on Russia. He's going to turn Russia back to that USSR spirit, man. And he says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy armies and horsemen and all the horses and horsemen, and all them will clothe in sorts of armor, even in great company with bucklers and shields, and all them handling swords, man. So they're talking about building up their arsenal, all their nuclear capability, all their cyber warfare, all these various things that preparing them for war. It says Persia. Persia represents Iran. So you're showing you, like we've seen, that Russia was over there supporting Iran. And it says Ethiopia. Ethiopia represents the Hamitic nations. Russia's been supporting them Hamitic nations. They've been doing energy deals for some years now. It says Libya, another Hamitic nation. With them, all them with shields and helmet. Gomer represents the Turkey nations. And Turkey is a Muslim nation. So all of them are preparing for what? To go to war with America. It says that all of them with bands and a house of Togomar and the North Quarters and all his bands, and with many people with them, which Togomar represents another Hamitic nation. So all the nations are gathering together in the Middle East to go to wage war against Babylon the Great, America. It says, prepare. It says, be thou prepared and prepare thyself, for thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, when be a guard unto them. And Russia is a guard unto the other nations. Why? Because a Russian has some supplying them with nuclear capability. And just why you think they was over there? Why you think Russia's gonna join into this war? Because they soldiers or somebody could have got hit when Trump attacked their nuclear facilities, man. And it says, after many days thou shalt be visited, and the later years thou shalt come into the land that thou hast brought back in the sword, and to gather out of my many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been also wasted and but brought forth out of the nations, and thou shalt dwell safely in them. Let's jump down. This is the part I want. Let me see. Let's jump down. Verse 11. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages. The land of the unwalled villages represents America. You're going to start to see sleeper cells being activated by Iran and Russian and Chinese soldiers in the shores of America. Why? Because the Biden administration had the borders wide open. That was strategically planned out, because every nation on earth have border policies. Why did America do that? Because they was planning this out. While the American people was asleep, bullshitting around, not paying attention, this was being planned out. And the men of the Lord was warning you and foretelling you what they was doing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemal Shah, according to Bible prophecy, man. This prophecy will come to pass, man. It says, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of the unwalled villages, because America has no border. It says, and I will go to them that are at rest, and that dwell safely, and all them dwelling without walls, and heathen having no bars or gates. And that's America. Because all these Americans, they dwell safety. They ain't worried about what's going on in the Middle East, not knowing that, hey, that shit is about to affect you very, very soon. What's going on in all these other nations, them third world countries, that's going to be just America very, very soon, man. America's going to get used to seeing bombs drop, things, death. They're going to get used to seeing that. Why? Because that's coming home, man. That's coming home very, very soon, man. And it says, to take a spoil, to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods and dwell in the midst of the land. And that's speaking on the shores of America, man. Because the people in America dwell without care. They don't think what's going on is going to affect them, not knowing that's coming home, man. So we're clearly in a time where the Lord is putting the spirit on these nations to gather themselves for war, to invade America, to start doing all these proxy attacks with American troops over there in that Middle East war, man. That's coming, man. All them embassies over there in Iraq, Afghanistan, and various other places is going to get attacked. It's coming, man. We're in those times, man. So, apparatus our Lord willing, this lesson was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shemal Shah. I want to say, call Halayim La, Yahweh by Shemal Shah, by Shemal Kakodash. Double honors to my apostle elders, a great millstone of Ruel, and peace and salutation to all the Akim pushing this truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom.